Okay. There was a video I put up recently called Sony issues. Not the we talk about DRM. Talking about the lawsuit that Sony gonna do some refunds for the people who bought games, particular. And you gonna get some money out of it, but gotta wait till October for that. So this one, it talk about stop killing games, which I failed to mention during that video itself. And the person talking about this is Baller News. Stop killing games just revealed its real power. Ubisoft's in trouble, and it makes sense because the crew, something I forgot. What, the crew two? Was the crew two? It was over the crew itself. Online processes shutting down. People want to keep it. Ubisoft said no, so Stop Killing Games could win this thing potentially. Let's get in the mix.
The crew keeps coming back to bite them, and now they are being sued by one of the largest consumer rights groups in France, who say that Ubisoft cheated their customers. And if that sounds familiar to you, well, yeah, you're right. This is exactly what started Stop Killing Games. And that's exactly why Stop Killing Games are backing this group. What this also is a big escalation.
Okay, so technicality wise, there's a group that is like, going against Ubisoft for the crap. Okay, for recap, like I said, Ubisoft wanted to end the servers, and people said no, but Ubisoft said, "No, I don't care." The problem with that is, if people got the physical copy of the crew, that means they had to like go through the internet process to play it. If they shut down the servers, you can't play that game. It's useless. There is no online feature for that. They could at least patch it up to have the online feature there. But Ubisoft still say no. I'm like, what the hell is wrong with you people? Why make a good, amazing racing game that people can enjoy, chill by themselves, no problem, no issue, and just make it online only? But if you want to shut down the servers, you're not gonna give a patch for online, offline users? Really? That's stupid to me. So, Stop Killing Game was born because of the stupidity of companies and all their BS. Because there are a lot of creative people on the internet who can make their own servers, and people can pay for those servers on their own. No problem, they can do that. But companies have a problem, big problem with that. Let's say they want to make a sequel of The Crew 2, you know what I'm saying, or Crew 3, sequels similar to that of The Crew, and people still playing The Crew. So what the issue? What the solution they can do? They can say no, we can turn down servers. If people are gonna go against that, they'll flag them. The Ubisoft sucks that for a reason, man, and their games are sucking to this day. Well deserved.
For Stop Killing Games. And if the case succeeds, then, well, consumer gaming as a medium will be utterly changed. First, let's get you up to speed. So since the last time we checked in, Stop Killing Games has basically gone institutional. The European Citizens Initiative signatures have been delivered, and the group has shown up at the European Parliament for the first time. They've established formal NGOs, one in Europe, another in progress in America, and they're describing themselves as, quote, a global non-profit platform for digital sovereignty, consumer rights, and the preservation of games. So this is more than just a petition, it is an actual advocacy movement that is becoming legit across the world, and that means that they can back other groups who are going after similar things, like the French consumer group that just launched a lawsuit against Ubisoft. Now, if I've learned one thing in my life, it's don't mispronounce French things. It really drives them mad. So I'm going to call this consumer advocacy group UFC, because it's in their name, and I kind of find that funny. So, the UFC are suing Ubisoft for shutting down The Crew in 2024. That's 10 years, of course, after the game came out. And the whole lawsuit comes down to one question. A little bit of an asterisk, it's machine translated, and it puts it like this. Does the purchase of a video game in physical or digital format allow players to claim, at a minimum, a right of use, here's the key bit everyone, totally independent of the sole will and authorization of the publisher? That's the key bit. You see, right now, most stores sell games as licenses, not products. And that means that if the company decides, they can just revoke the license. And UFC...
Okay. The license issue crazy stuff. You have to just consider the fact that licenses is there to just let people know that hey, you using that stuff, you can play how much you want. But at the end of the day, it's still our stuff. Back in the day, we just CDs. We own the CDs. We had the license to play the CDs. We made the game. You buying our products. You have copies of the game. You can play however you want. No harm done. Just don't resell the game on you and stuff. Because then, yeah, people do resell games, but only in the sense of you can just sell the physical copies. But you can technically buy, not buy stuff. I'm sorry. Um, Particular softwares where you can just play a game in one what console and just run it. There are different ways to do that. I don't know why that's a thing, but look up on eBay, look up on Amazon, look up on like all console, all games in one console type piece, type console. They are real, man. They are real. So I don't know what the legality of that. These are different companies with different licenses in one console, bro. And I'm not talking about like the PS3, PS4, or Xbox stuff. And I'm talking like a not so talked about console. I'll talk about it later in the future, but what the name of it? But I'm gonna focus on this for real. So license is a thing. It's a big deal. Like I said, let people know you will do this. You can take this. You can have this. Hold on to that. But in reality, the rights still belong to us at the end of the day. We can say whatever we want, wherever we want. Period.
QC wants to prove whether that is actually legal or not. And to do that, they're going after specific clauses in Ubisoft's license. So let's discuss what they're actually challenging here. There are clauses that let Ubisoft, quote, deny consumers ownership rights over acquired game copies, shut the game down without offering any alternative, that require online services that can be interrupted, and to refuse refunds on any purchases players made inside the game. They are also going after deceptive business practices, alleging the players were never warned that they could lose access. So what they want is a legal answer to these questions, once and for all. Now, it's not the first time that Ubisoft's licenses have been challenged, and it's not the first time that this specific group has even taken on a major gaming company. So to understand what's going on, we should probably talk about what they've already done. But to do that, we're first going to fly over to the good old USA. So, last year, a US class action lawsuit was filed over The Crew. This went down in February 2025, and it landed on two of the same arguments: that players were not warned about losing access, and that Ubisoft revoked access to what players had been treating as property, not merely a license. And Ubisoft's defense there kind of tells us exactly what is coming.
Look at that BS. Look at that BS. Look at that. Look at that. Look at that. Look at that. You don't own your video games. What kind of BS is that, bro? I should have a soundboard for these things, man. Oh, I'm pissed off. That makes no damn sense, dude. I wonder how you implement soundboard into your OBS. I have no idea. But yo, that's some BS. Look at that. What the hell? Unfiltered ownership rights in the game. They weren't purchasing. User had made it clear. Lawyers claim you buy a copy of the crew. You're merely buying a limited access license. This is what I was talking about in my discussion video on Sony. The whole process of you was renting out a game. To be fair, there was a process of doing that in a form of, let's say, demos. I'll say that. Demos were like the gateway to hit the feel of the game itself. That's when I think about like temporary stuff, but that's like free. Demos are free. People can play demos no matter what. Talk about limited access stuff. The last time I played something like that, we call that betas. And the last beta I tried out was wait, it was a recent game. I played House Transylvania like that. House Transylvania. It was like that two-sider scroller thing. Made that dude Suda 51, and it was like a okay-ish game, but the jank of it, I don't understand why it had to be that bad. I'm sorry, bro. That's the last game I played, beta wise, and I don't feel the need to play that thing because I could not beat the boss for the life of me. And I saw videos of people find the boss in that game, and all I had to do was parry. The way he was attacking me, it did grounds to me to like, oh, parry. It seems to me like he could break that parry. If I can't jump over his attacks and he still hits me, that's a stupid jank, bro. It pissed me off. Like, really, really, really pissed me off. No funny. That's what I'm thinking about, like limited licenses. Like playing a game for a certain period of time, and then what? The publisher take that game off of Steam? Because that happens. You got limited time access to play this game on Steam and see how people like it. After a while, the full game comes out and people like the game more so than people didn't like the game at all. I say a bunch of people didn't like the game based on the reviews, but you can check the Hotel House. Was it Hotel Castlevania? Whatever that was. I don't remember.
Ubisoft said that players never had, quote, unfettered ownership rights in the
Okay.
game. That the physical and digital versions both made it clear that the game needed online servers and that Ubisoft could shut those servers down, and that further to those arguments, precedent was actually on their side in the US. Now, that is thanks to a 2011 ruling over whether Square could take down a Final Fantasy XI account, basically take it away from a player who broke terms of service. Now, obviously,
Ooh.
US law is not EU law, but looking at this, we can literally see Ubisoft's defense. We basically know their playbook. And if anyone is ready for a fight against that playbook, it is actually UFCQC. Back in 2020, the
Mm.
target was Nintendo. It was Joy-Cons and planned obsolescence. And they say that their complaint kicked off a chain of action that eventually saw the European Commission and Nintendo extend warranties beyond the legal guarantee. And that was
Nintendo. I can't see what's worse. Nintendo pissed me off. How freaking insane and stubborn they are. That have particular old games that were released 10 years ago to be the same price as games of now. Talk about like $60 games being up there for like years. I'm like, why is it still $60? I don't get that. You will think that over time, a game that was released that can still be bought online can just lower down the price. Let's say if you go to PS3 store right now and look for Call of Duty Black Ops, Ghosts, or any kind of Call of Duty period, and then you see like a deluxe edition that's like over the price, or the exact price of like new games that's like cost $80, you would think to myself, hey, when can game prices go down? Unless they can't go down because that's the set price they keep on forever. That price will never go down. And plus, it's a PS3 store. You know what I'm saying? You don't get deals on that. There's no deals. Why? Because they don't expect people to be on it still. So if you think getting deals on PS3 store, you bugging. You gonna get deals on like PS4, PS5 stuff, but PS3 is done over. Period. Period. And what I was going to say, like, what the original big three of like terrible companies. Nintendo number one. Sony definitely number two. Microsoft, iffy here and there. We got a lot of like stuff when it comes to PC. PC so good. Who gives a damn about Xbox? Be real. Do you care about Xbox like that? If you just play all and any old games on Xbox on your PC forever. Me personally, I would love to like download games, dump games from the Xbox into my PC. If Xbox not willing to like have the licenses of any old games that came out on the Xbox and I put in there like the category in the Xbox game store, then just like okay, I'm getting myself. I don't care. Dump your games, bro. I have a laptop. I got like a freaking disc reader. I think I'm gonna get myself a better one and like get all the games I get down. Just assuming that GOG don't have any games, I'm gonna see for myself. But if anything, I'll check GOG. It had the games I'm looking for. If not, buy it off eBay, ship it to me. Oh shoot, yeah. Potentially eBay, yeah, maybe. Eh, and just dub my games the way I want to, or you do the slick way, a hard remake to you. You know what I'm saying?
Was a huge win. Let's just all be honest for a second. The situation with the Switch Joy-Cons was absolutely goddamn absurd. They knew those problems existed for years upon years upon years, and they knew that they would just make a shitload of money over people rebuying Joy-Cons. That was absolute scumbag behavior. Whew, that got me fired up.
Ain't gotta lie to you. Those Joy Cons can easily break if you abuse it more enough. More enough, you can abuse it. I never abused my Joy Cons like that, but I can feel the flimsiness in it to the point where I'll just buy cheaper ones online. People who just have their stuff already use it, resold it, and just want to give it to someone who want to use it instead of like going to stores like it's overpriced as hell. Like $30, $40 for a pair of the black and white. Get out of here, bro. I don't need that. I don't need that, bro. And because of the Nintendo Switch 2 and their BS upgrade capabilities, I'm thinking to myself like, bro, no, no, I'm not gonna waste my time, you know, buying a game. I already bought my Nintendo Switch, so I'm gonna keep my Nintendo Switch to the end of the world. I don't care, man. I don't care. I'm not buying Nintendo Switch 2. Period. No. And you know what's funny? If you're a tech savvy dude, you could just boot up a virtual machine, like Linux for example, and just download Nintendo games on it on your PC, or better, do on your PS5. That'd be beautiful. That's beautiful, bro. That's beautiful. That's beautiful, man.
Up. Anyway, that's one thing UFC QC did pretty well at. But there's another thing. In 2024, a legal complaint against Activision over unexplained player bans in Call of Duty. And that same year, they also pushed for changes to virtual currencies alongside other European consumer groups following demands for change from EA back in 2022. And that push, as we've covered in this channel, did actually move the needle at the European Consumer Organization. So
Okay, that's
they've
cool.
done a lot of stuff. They've had plenty of wins, but they don't always win. In 2024, the French Supreme Court actually ruled against them over whether
Oof.
Steam players could resell their games, and the court cited a 2019
Ah,
EU ruling on ebooks. Yeah,
reselling games. Steam players can resell their games. What does that even mean? I don't get that. I buy my games, for example, on Steam. I can't resell it. I could ask for a refund. It's possible, but I don't normally refund my games on Steam like that. So I got nothing to talk about there. But it's a odd concept. You just actually just resell your games on Steam and keep it pushing. I don't know what that means really. You guys know what that means? Comment that in the comment section down below. I don't know what that means to resell your games on Steam. I don't get that.
as it turns out, digital copies could not be resold, and Valve's license terms were basically consistent with that. Now, I should say the rationale
Oh,
behind that
digital
ruling
copy
was
cannot be resold. So what the hell are they talking about? Physical copies, sure. Digital, sh- fair. Wait a minute. On Steam? Wait a minute. So someone say, let's say, for example, you bought a game on your store, on your account. You can't give to someone. That makes sense. I guess. I guess. But, I ain't gonna lie. There should be a system where if you don't want a game no more, man, you already bought it, but someone likes to play that game, you could not resell it, but gift them that. Cause there's a gift mechanic. Like you buy someone a game, and you gift that to the person you know. Like I know Hypnotic do some live streams, and I see a bunch of people like giving him games like in the tens of 20, 30s. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, yo, this man got games for to spare, dude. And I'm like, yo, I'll take all that, bro. Not all of it, man. He got some really crazy, not safe for work games got recommended to him. I was like, yo, he did not mess with that at all. I find that hilarious, dude. Yo, shout out to Hypnotic, bro. Check out his game streams. He do it every. I say every day. Sometimes I want to say every day. Every day, I'll be every day. Mostly. If he's not streaming, then yeah, he probably busy with something else. Or it's not that he's not streaming. The dude's always online, no matter what. Guaranteed. Like his content.
Actually quite narrow. It was about reselling digital goods that cannot deteriorate. It wasn't about the bigger ownership questions that we've been dealing with in this video. But win or lose, UFC QC are clearly not afraid of a fight. And at this point, they are pushing well past where Stop Killing Games have gone. It's not just us saying they're going beyond Stop Killing Games. Ross Scott, Stop Killing Games' founder, actually makes the same point in his video. He says that this case is, quote, pushing the Overton window in some respects. As he points out,
this is the guy right here. This is the guy who pushed the initiative. And there was a real dickhead from last year. I think his name Pirate Software. That dude is irrelevant. That dude got proven wrong, bro. How must Stop Killing Games grew over a year compared to the notoriety and relevance to that piece of filth of a dude? He really is a garbage person. Look it up. Pirate Software, not a good guy. He really not a good guy, bro. He is the example of a nepo baby who just a dickhead to everybody. This guy got pure heart, pure soul. This dude is a true gamer right here. Respect to this dude.
Stop Killing Games haven't actually asked for legal requirements to keep games running after live support ends. Not yet, anyway. This lawsuit is one that goes way further than that, and it's making the labeling argument as well. So that's the one basically saying that Ubisoft never warned people that the game could be taken away. Now, Ross is not convinced that that one is a clear win, and I think he's basically right. But they are still backing this group. They're backing UFC QC, and they're doing so materially. You see, this case has been in the works for over a year, and Stop Killing Games say that they have data and receipts from their French supporters that actually helped get the suit off the ground. And here is what a spokesperson described the move as to us. A step up in ambition and impact, not just continuation of the previous public goals. We have become a movement now, and with the NGO, we have bigger plans for the gaming industry. I'm sure there's a few people in the gaming industry who are not particularly happy about that. But this really would be a step up in plans. What they're pushing for here would genuinely upend how this industry works. It's basically this. Should one of the world's biggest economies treat games as products or treat games as licenses? Now that could put the EU completely out of step with the rest of the world, who have erred on the side of the licenses. I mean, think about what Steam had to do in 2024, where they actually added a warning to the storefront that you are buying a license. And Steam did that for all of us because a California law required it. So would they have to go even further with, say, the EU? What does it even look like for a library of thousands of games? And there's a real question about what sorts of things
people be heralding Steam as one of the best companies. I think it's guaranteed one of the best companies in gaming history. They had some bad takes, bad moments here and there. They've been a need to certain like law legislation here and there. In particular, game that is so offensive that certain companies demand to be removed, Steam will remove it. They will remove it, no matter what. There was that one horse game. I peeped someone made a video about that, made a review about that, and I'm like, yo, I understand why they took that out. But then there were like a lot of crazy other games on Steam that's still on Steam, bro. Period. So it's like people pick and choose what's disturbing and what they don't care about, man. Cause I think the problem is some of these things are nicher than others. And if the disturbing game is popular enough, guaranteed they will, definitely will, truly, inevitably will go after that game. And Steam as well. Because, yo, oh man. Not everybody likes Steam when it comes to company wise. Probably NYC. NYC filed a lawsuit against Steam for game misuse or whatever. Blah blah blah. Stupid, stupid lawsuit. They lost. MIC lost that, bro. Dummies, dumb. Because I want to put ads to our stuff, bro. The only reason I don't see no freaking ad popping up when I'm playing the game, because of that. Do you play anything like Google or anything iOS? Apps like that? Ads to your face. Boom, boom, boom. Here and there. Not all games, though. Not all games. But some.
Things would break if this succeeds. Right now, you see, companies use license terms to moderate players, banning cheaters, removing abusive users. Now, if games are products and not licenses, does it get harder to ban someone? Now, a Stop Killing Games spokesperson told us that they see it differently, that
the people have accounts. They do have accounts. In 2026, you can't tell me you can't track someone without their accounts. If they're like a name for a particular player, a cheater, and there's like a history log, it could be sent to the web or hub or cloud somewhere Steam got in that system, and if people report that cheater and have the video recordings of it or the chat logs, you have no excuse to not peep the freaking cheater out, not pick him out. I could be looking at this as a surface level, more so than like a deeper level. If I am, well, it is. I don't know, like the investigation process these guys be doing behind the scenes, but it shouldn't be harder to do if you have like proper equipment set up. You can track the cheater down without peeping the license of said cheater. Come on, check the account. You should know whether it's legit or not. Ban that dude. Come on. How hard could it be?
whoever runs the servers still does get to enforce the rules, regardless of how a game is classified. But considering UFCQC already brought a complaint against Activision over exactly those kind of bans, well, you could see where this could all get a bit complicated. We're now speculating because nobody's actually done this before, and this ruling would essentially lock in the status quo or force companies into something that is completely new. And even if the status quo wins, that does just make the law itself the next target. And of course, that is a fight that Stop Killing Games have now built themselves for, and it's exactly where they'll go. Okay, so after this case plays out, and remember, it will be appealed, there will be some clarity. Either companies can keep doing what Ubisoft did, or they'll have to deal with an entirely new set of rules. But this is just one front of a broader thing. Stop Killing Games' complaint to the French Consumer Protection Agency is still with that regulator. The European Citizens Initiative gets its hearing at the European Parliament on April 16th this year. And in many ways that's a big one, because it's their shot to make their case directly to legislators. And with funding from developers like Alderon Games, partnerships with UFCQC and Does It Play, the infrastructure is actually there now. So Stop Killing Games is not going anywhere. And this is something that started off with a YouTube video and a petition. It's now evolved into lawsuits, parliamentary hearings, and institutional lobbying across multiple countries. So the question isn't whether the games industry will have to reckon with this. They will have to reckon with it. The real question is how long they can put it off and how much they can use the various processes in various countries to slow these efforts down. So expect many appeals over many years, and if you're someone who expected a lot of the Crimson Desert, like noise and anger and these people versus those people, etc., to kind of be a load of bullshit that says more about people than it does the actual game, you should watch this video next. The whole story of that game is fascinating, and talking about it after the fact brings the whole thing into perspective, makes it clear. So I'll see you.
I don't know about Crimson Desert like that. I don't feel like I should play the game myself one of these days when it lows down the price, because a big world like that have nobody here whatsoever, no multiplayer. This game used to be supposed to be like an MMO thing, but they reduced it down to like a single player game, and just people just love this game to high heaven. Me, I rather play Elden Ring than this. I never play Elden Ring, period, bro. But people love Elden Ring. Let me just check the comments before I did. Okay. We have here. I really love how second generation Blizzard Boy tried to argue that it was too vague and would go nowhere, only for the lawyers to praise them for making it so vague, allowing for broad implementing potential. That sounds insane, bro. Pirate Software is goofy for that. If disclaimer that says you don't own the game can only be read after buying the game, it means exactly it's jack. Okay. Finally, this plan absolutely is now biting the software industry. Yeah, okay. We need total ownership to ebooks, games, anything else bought online. If I pay a subscription, I am renting it. If I buy it, I own it. I own it. All right, let me see more stuff. Just provide an offline mode as a final patch before dropping support. If companies, I'm saying, dude, if companies are going to actually provide a product that can stand on its own, then stop selling them as a full and complete product. Here's the thing: there are physical games out there. Let's say, for example, Nintendo games that selling games, new games. Think about any new games out there, and think about the piece of product right here. That product, that disc, it's just a disc by itself. It have like little less than like I think it probably less than 100, not less than 100, like not even a gram in there, not even like a gigabytes of period in there, not gram. I say gram, gigabytes in that disc, and most of that full space for that game helps comes from the online access. So you're getting like a piece of plastic telling you you have access to this game. Now play it. Hold on, you need online support for that. You need to go online to fully unlock it. You know how stupid that is, bro. That's the future right now. It's stupid. What the point of you saying I gotta buy a game, but I'm actually renting it? I'm not buying a game at that point. If I have a piece of plastic Nintendo, what the hell I gotta go online and get the full game by itself? What the hell is wrong with you? That's why I thought myself, hey, maybe buy some digital games, man. The more I go through life, the more I realize how wrong I am based on this BS. Oh, this dude is ambitious. This is gonna be the last one. Makes me want to start a company, but you didn't buy that hammer. You purchased that license to operate it, and we can remove that license at any time. Pay no attention to how we market it to you. Additionally, per RTOS, you may only use the hammer with nails smaller than this size right here. Oh, and the claw on the back requires you to purchase the nail remover DLC to use. Why should the scumbag company get treated differently than any other business? Ah, I'm writing this one. This one too. Yeah. Hope this goes into law. Gamers have been bullied over many times over the past decade. The future looking bright again. Let's see what happened with that, man. Wait. Shout out to that dude, man. I don't know this guy's name. This is dope. I need to get more news from this guy. This was uploaded 3 weeks ago. The movement for Stop Killing Games is stronger than ever. I'm gonna subscribe to this guy. Y'all should too. Get my news for gaming nowadays. I should pay attention more. Definitely. Um, if you dig my freaking the hell I'm yapping, man. Like, comment, subscribe. This is important stuff. Games should be protected no matter what. And if company not gonna like appeal to what we want and have active customers, be their customers instead of like being their mind consumers, then I'm gonna move on and do my own thing. But what you guys should do? What do you think? Am I BSing? Should you not like reserve your games? Should you not try to dump it? Or do something else about it? I'll talk about the dumping process some other time in detail. But I'm gonna be out. So y'all be safe. Be easy. and be chill. Top killing kings is not stopping anytime soon, bro. Join the movement, man. I respect it, 100%.